I recently got a lesson on hand bubbles from Sterling Johnson, a friend of mine from California, over the internet. And it made me think, is it possible to make hand bubbles with just original fairy and water? So this is what I found as a result. It's better than I thought, so you can try this out. 5 parts water and 1 part fairy into some kind of container. Then mix it up with your hands and get it really mixed up, but get your hands nice and wet. A good rub all over them. Make your hands wet beforehand, maybe even. Then a little circle and blow through the circle between your index finger and your thumb, and you can make a soap bubble. The secret is to keep it moving all the time, because fairy is very thin and it drains very quickly. So the bubble won't last forever, won't last as long as some other bubbles, but it does work better than I expected. Now here I'm putting my other hand beneath it, blowing and then closing my thumb over, opening a new bubble, closing and opening, and making a chain of bubbles just by blowing, opening and closing. Just by blowing and there's a nice chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bubbles, which I never thought would be possible with just fairy on its own. Again, keep them moving. You'll see my fingers are moving, and I'm moving them up and down and turning them round so that the liquid can't drain completely away. When it's draining one direction, I'm turning it round so it drains in the other direction. They'll last twice as long if you do that, but it will burst quicker than properly commercial bubble liquid. However, that's quite a nice thing to be able to play with, see what you can do. This is another method of making the bubble. If you put your hands together and touch your thumbs and your index fingers together and then blow at a distance, you can just about get that frame. Lots of little short breaths seem to work. Now with proper liquid you can make a much bigger bubble, but that was quite good for fairy on its own. And finally, a trick from Tom Noddy, who talks about turning a bubble inside out. You simply blow a bubble like this, close it off, then you need to open your finger again to make the circle, and something dry. I'm using the handle of this jug because it's dry, and popping it in, bursting it so the air comes out. Now turn my hands around and blow the bubble the other way, and I've turned the bubble inside out. So have fun with that. Wash your hands afterwards well and maybe use some hand cream, because fairy liquid is not so good for the hands.